Okay, good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Hi, Teresa. Oh, I forgot to put your name up there, Teresa. So we're going to go fast today because my computer's having trouble and keeps shutting down randomly. So, Teresa, let's get right into it while I put your name up on the screen. The 3 keys to building your brand.
Okay, so since we're going to go fast, I'm going to dive into the most important key, and that is the very first one, is that you are your brand. When people start to build a business, they start to look at what they do, they dive right into what is my logo going to look like to help me stand out, and what are my colors going to be, and what are my fonts going to be. But really, you've got to figure out who you are going to be to stand out in the business world before you dive into logos and fonts and colors and all of those other visual branding aspects. And you've got to be really clear about that, because your brand is how people perceive you, your products, your services, what you offer, how you stand out in your industry. And that's what you really have got to focus on. And
that's hard because you're really dealing with some of the stuff I start with in the
yeah,
Profit Insider program, my group program, and my one-on-ones. Who you are as a person is what makes your brand.
yes, it really is. And we want to dive to the logo, but every time when we start with a logo, and I've had this with multiple clients, they insist they want to start with a logo. Yep, I know who I am. I know who I am. Within 2 years, we rebrand.
Yeah, I've rebranded multiple times.
I have too. And I mean, because we dove into the visual things.
Well, I think it's also because as you grow, I think it's two things. We absolutely
Yep.
hide behind the pretty colors and the font and what do I
Yep.
want my website to look like. But then as you go through business and you start niching down and figuring out who you are as a business person, and
Yes.
then who you want to attract and which of your personality traits attracts the right people, you rebrand. And it does happen,
Absolutely.
right? I feel like it happens naturally every 2 or 3
That
years.
is a natural progression, I think, of a business. But a lot of times, like I said, the rebrand because you've grown and progressed is a little bit different than I'm completely different and doing something completely off. It's a little different. And so I really want to help people start with figuring out who you are. What are the core values? What are your customers' core values? What are you going to stand by? What is important to you? Because when you get really clear on that, that's when you start attracting those dream customers that you want to work with. And that's where the magic is. And that drives the visual elements of your brand as well. We can go real deep into color psychology, but I won't, because not many people are as nerdy about that as I am. But the colors that you choose relate to core values, relate to feelings you want to evoke, relate to a lot of that stuff. And so knowing who you are, what you stand for, what your priorities are, what is important to you, what you're going to do, how you want to be perceived helps guide you in picking brand colors that feel good. And even when you go to rebrand in a couple years because your business has grown, your colors probably aren't going to shift and change a whole lot.
I don't know. Mine did. I was
Yours
turquoise
did. You're
blue.
kind of the anomaly.
I'm like, I love turquoise blue. Let's do turquoise blue. And then I was like, oh, I hate it. Like within 3 months, I'm like, I hate this. So, all right. So one of the keys then.
is owning that you are your brand, and start by building who you want to be perceived as before you dive into it. And I have a brand new course library because I've had this in a course before, but I took my old courses and I really broke them down and I revamped them. And there's a course specific to this that's called Build Your Brand. And it dives into figuring out who you want to be perceived as, and then choosing brand colors that align with those values, and so that you can dive in deeper to building the second key, which is the visual brand aspect of things, the logo, all of those kind of things. What colors did you want to do that associate with it? And that's really important. And I actually share an embarrassing moment, because my first brand, when I was a health coach, my business name was Ayana Wellness because I didn't want to be Teresa Shaloop. So I made up some name. My logo was red and black, and
Ooh.
I'm promoting health and wellness. And I had this little black ivy thing or what. I mean, it was hideous. And it's like, I'm promoting health and wellness. Here's a logo that signifies death almost. I mean, like, it was
Oh my God, that's terrible. That is terrible.
It
Oh my
was
God.
so off brand, so off of who I wanted to be perceived as. It obviously did not work well for me. I rebranded that very quickly. But I was confused at the time because I hadn't dove into branding and things like that. I hadn't really learned about it. And so that's what I'm talking about, is that getting the right colors that align with your message, because that did not align at all with my message. It wasn't about health and wellness.
That is funny. I mean, not funny, but funny.
It is
Like
hilarious. We
black
can laugh
and
about it.
red, particularly for health and well, because as I was an art consultant, we would do commercial work in health facilities, and then
Mhm.
I used to have to say, we need calm, relaxing. We don't want reds or oranges or anything
Right.
that's going to raise people's blood pressure. We want greens and blues and soft and oceans and
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And see, for me, however, I dove straight to logo. I want a logo. And I love doodling these little ivy things. So that must be in my logo. And red and black colors are strong business colors. And some article I read, and I like red and black. So that's where I went. Like, I was reading the wrong stuff and I wasn't paying attention to me.
okay.
Yes, red and black are really strong brand colors for the right brand,
Yes.
right message.
Yes.
So again, that's why we start back with that, and then we start designing the logo and the font colors and finding all of that and creating this visual brand aspect that matches and aligns with our message. And I have a course that walks you through doing that, finding the perfect shade of those colors you like, finding so that you can always be matched and look cohesive with everything.
Now,
Creating
I'm
a
going to say
logo.
this 6 times. It's free. 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 Is that 7 times? Anyway, if you are looking to, and then you have a third one too, right? We're up to number 2, or did we cover all
Yeah,
three?
that's number 2. Yep, we're up to number 3, and then I have a lot more courses coming. I actually just launched another one last week that we'll talk about in the next blog or in the next website Wednesday. But dive in now, because as I get them ready, I'm just launching them and I'll promote them later on. But right now, they're all free, and I'm not going to charge for them because I don't want to.
You know what? And that's so amazing. And that is one way to build your business and your brand and your name. What Teresa's doing is give out some stuff, knowledge for free, because what you really do for a living is help people create their websites
Yes.
and manage their monthly maintenance on their websites. And that is what you really want to focus on. So you give this stuff away for free so that people, when they need you, they know who you are.
Well, and I remember being that new person with the black and red health, business logo, and not knowing what to do and not having good resources and having very generic business advice that had no depth. And so that's why I'm giving this away, because I mean, I would have loved this resource when I was a child, or not a child. Sorry, I'm thinking of
When you were a child, you were a very talented child.
Oh my gosh. But I would have loved this resource when I was a business owner, because I didn't have the money to invest in hiring a branding specialist and strategist or anyone to help with the market. I didn't have the money in the funds. And so that's another thing, is just giving back, because that's where I was 10 years ago.
I'm so happy you're doing that. And you have given us, for my members of my membership site, my group program, Profit Insiders, my one-on-ones, your free courses are now part of my membership site as well, which has like 150 courses. But we've attached because you let us, and we appreciate that, put it all there. So when they're learning about sales and marketing and pricing and staffing and growing their business and their website, it's all of your stuff in there now that's going to help guide them to doing it the right way in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely.
We hope. But if you don't, join the club, because none of us do it right the first time.
Join the club, but take the help where you can get it, especially like your membership price is such an incredibly reasonable price for the depth of knowledge that it shares. I mean, I would have not hesitated. I would have found the money, to.
Well, I mean, the membership site's $97 a month. I mean, if for 150 trainings, you can't get better than that.
No.
And there's no limit. There's no minimum. It's not 6 months, 1 year. But if you want then that personal service where I'm coaching you, I have a new associate coach starting today. Wait for the announcement soon. So there's different programs for different needs, but part of what you do when you grow your business is your branding. And now they have free courses that they can go directly to your site for. If they're in my membership site, they're there as well. That can get them started and feeling really good about bringing their business to the next level or starting their business. Either one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And then so then the last key, that kind of brings us to that last key. So you've got time on your side when you're getting started. You have more time than money to invest. So use that time wisely and start building the elements that you're going to be utilizing in your brand. And I have a course that goes in and shows you how to create your own social media templates so that you can quickly do posts based on, that are branded for you. How to design your own business cards and, and order those and have those on hand. Proposals. There's documents on how to create your own proposal and how to brand that so that you've got it ready. So now, while you have all this time, you've got all these materials ready to go where it's plug and play when that client signs on the dotted line.
Amazing.
And you can focus on the client and not, oh my gosh, I have to create a proposal. I've never done that, or those kind of things.
Love it. Love it. All right. Well, thank you once again, Teresa.
Yeah, my pleasure.
All right. So everyone, we will see you for Website Wednesday whenever we do it again. I don't even have my calendar up. I'm just grateful that my computer did not shut down during this live.
It took care of us.
Yes, it took care of us. My computer's being nice right now. So thank you, everyone. Go have a great Wednesday. Thank you, Teresa. I will see you next time. And if you need Teresa, right there, Web Designs by Teresa. You need me, you know where to go. Anywhere. Facebook, Instagram, nancyganzakoffer.com. Thanks, everyone. See you soon.